Hello students, once again I welcome you back to the session of chemistry classes for class 8. The topic for today's class will be physical and chemical changes. We already have discussed part 1 in the previous class and now we are going to discuss part 2 of physical and chemical changes. On the last turn, in the last video, we have discussed about the changes which are occurring around us. A number of changes we have discussed: slow changes, fast changes, natural changes, man-made changes, desirable and undesirable changes, physical and chemical changes, endothermic and exothermic changes, and so on. Moving on to further in the chapter, now we are going to study about categorizing physical changes. So, on the last turn we have studied what are physical changes. We all know that physical changes are reversible, here no new substance is formed, and for example we have studied melting of ice. Is it? So the changes which are reversible, in which no new product is formed, and example melting of ice, these all will come in the category of physical changes. Now the first physical change which is given in our book is evaporation. We have studied about evaporation in previous classes also. So now what is evaporation? The process in which liquid substance changes into gaseous substance at temperature below boiling point is known as evaporation. So what is evaporation? The process in which substance in the liquid state changes to gaseous state at any temperature below its boiling point. This condition is very necessary, that it will occur below boiling point only. If it will reach the boiling point, then that will become the boiling point of the substance. But if it is occurring below boiling point, then it will be evaporation. For example, your clothes dry even if you keep them in a room. Is it? Nowadays, it's quite hot. If we are just keeping the clothes in our room for a period of 6 to 7 hours also, or if we are hanging them in the room, then also we find that the clothes become dry within 6 to 7 hours. So how is it possible? It is possible all because of evaporation. Evaporation forms a very essential part of the water cycle also. From lakes, rivers, oceans, and water which is kept in the pots in our houses, from everywhere water changes into gaseous state. Later on, it goes on the top layers of the atmosphere, it condenses over there, and formation of clouds takes place. And when clouds strike the mountain, then they come back, water comes back in the form of rain. So it creates a continuous cycle, and therefore evaporation is a major part of water cycle also. It is desirable change also, because if it will not be there, then we will not be able to get the rain also. It is endothermic process. Why it is endothermic? Because we are giving heat. Until and unless we will give heat, water will not be boiling. Water will not be changing into gaseous state. So, these were the points of evaporation. Now we will be studying the conditions which are affecting the evaporation. So, what are the conditions that are affecting evaporation? Now we are going to study about the conditions. So, there are 5 conditions we have to study which are affecting evaporation. First one is surface area. The greater will be the surface area, more will be the evaporation. Greater will be if you are keeping 1 glass of water of same amount of water in glass, in same amount of water you are keeping it in a big bowl, then definitely as the surface area of big bowl will be more, the rate of evaporation will be more. Second condition on which evaporation depends is humidity. If greater will be the humidity, less will be the evaporation. Humidity occurs, moisture, humidity is the same thing. So humidity occurs mostly in rainy seasons. When there is more humidity, it means water is present in more amount in atmosphere. And when water is already present, then definitely the water evaporation will be less. Third point is motion of air. Definitely if air will be blowing, then evaporation will also be more. If speed of air will be more, then evaporation will also be more. If you might be taking your wet hands in front of the fan, or if your wet hairs if you are taking in front of the fan, then they will become dry faster. In summers, you might have observed that if you are sweating and if you are sitting in front of cooler or fan, then you will get dry faster. So if motion of air will be more, then evaporation will also be more. Fourth one is temperature. So if temperature will be more, then evaporation will also be more. In summers, there is greater evaporation. And the fifth topic is air pressure. Air pressure is also factored. If greater will be the air pressure, less will be the evaporation. So these were the 5 points on which, 5 conditions on which evaporation depends. Now we are going to study about more physical changes in detail. Second type of physical changes. Second type of physical change is boiling. First of all, we studied about evaporation. Now we are going to study about boiling. So what is boiling? Same. When a liquid changes into gaseous state at a fixed temperature. Here also the same process there. Liquid is changing to gaseous state of vapor on heating. And this occurs at fixed temperature only. That fixed temperature is known as boiling point. For example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius, pure water. So it is fixed. Next is condensation. What is the meaning of condensation? Here, condense means cooling. So this is the process in which gaseous state is converting into liquid state on cooling. It is just the reverse of boiling. So this is also a physical change. Next change is freezing. Freezing means, you might all have observed, if we are keeping water in our fridges, then it gets freezed. So the conversion of liquid state into solid, that is known as freezing. Next one is sublimation. Sublimation is that process in which solid changes directly to gas. For example, in case of camphor, ammonium chloride, naphthalene balls, these all are sublimating substances. This is a process in which solid changes directly to gas without any change of state. It changes into liquid, but the change of liquid state is so fast that we are not able to see it. Next is dissolving. Sixth one is dissolving. If we are mixing solid, liquid or gas in another substance, then it results in the formation of solution, and that process is known as dissolving. For example, nowadays if we are preparing lemonade or juices, then we are dissolving sugar in water, so that process is known as dissolving. In dissolving, you have to study about 3 points mainly: solute, solvent, and third one is solution. So first is solute. What is solute? The substance being dissolved, that is known as solute. Solvent, substance in which solute is dissolved, that is known as solvent. And solution, on mixing solute into solvent, is known as solution. For example, sugar is mixed into water, then it results in the formation of sugary solution. Is it? So sugar will be solute, water will be solvent, and solution will be sugary solution. So this was all about physical changes. Now if we are discussing about chemical changes, let us discuss about chemicals, some of the important points of chemical changes also. Chemical changes. So we all know it. What are chemical changes? Chemical changes are the changes which are irreversible in nature. Here, new substance is formed. Heat, light will be given out. Is it? These all things we have studied. And for example, it will be cooking of food, cutting of vegetables, burning of paper, and so on. So we are going to study about chemical changes in detail. First chemical change, according to our book, is fermentation. So what is fermentation? It is the chemical breakdown of a substance by bacteria. So what is it? It is chemical breakdown of substance by bacteria, yeast, or we can say by any other microorganisms. It is chemical change which is brought about by enzymes. Where it occurs? Fermentation of dough, bread, idlis, dhokla, cake. We all are using fermentation process in it. So if once the fermentation process has been done, then can the thing be turned into original substance back? No. We are not able to get the original substance back after fermentation process by the adding of yeast, because chemically the substance gets breakdown. Chemically the substance be changed. So that process is irreversible and it comes in the category of chemical changes. Second chemical change is rusting. It is very common. You all might have seen that a brown colored coating layer forms on the top of the iron objects when air and moisture comes in contact with the iron objects. If we are not painting the iron objects, then what will happen? They will get rusted. A brown color of coating will develop on them. and that process is known as rusting. So chemically what happens? Iron changes into iron oxide, and that iron oxide is known as rust. How it occurs? When any iron substance comes in contact with air and moisture, then it reacts and forms rust. So this loses the shiningness of the metal, this leaves the metal dull, and the top layer of the metal gets corroded. When top layer of the metal gets corroded, it loses shiningness also, and the metal becomes weak. So this is also a chemical change, because if once the rusting will occur, then it cannot be removed. The shininess of the metal will reduce. Third process is respiration. We all are respiring, we all are taking in oxygen, releasing out carbon dioxide, and the food which we are eating, that is breakdown. So that process is known as respiration. The process in which food breaks down to release energy. The food breaks down to release energy. What happens? Glucose is converted into carbon dioxide and water. So if once the food is break down, can it be combined to get the previous type of food again? No. Therefore, respiration will also come in category of chemical changes. Fourth one is curdling of milk. Curdling of milk. If once the milk is converted into curd, then can it be converted back into milk again? No, because we are adding a small amount of yeast, and then milk is getting converted into curd after a period of about 5 to 6 hours. But can that curd be converted into milk? No, because of enzymes, because of yeast, the chemical breakdown has occurred. Therefore, curdling of milk is a chemical change. Same way, souring of milk also. If once the milk has soured, it cannot be converted back into original milk again. We are using cottage cheese or paneer. A few drops of lemon are dropped in the milk, and then the top layer gets separated. A semi-solid mass type substance is collected, that is known as paneer, or we say cottage cheese. So can that cottage cheese be used to create milk again? No. Therefore, that will also come in the category of chemical changes. Cooking of food. If food once cooked, then can it be converted to raw food again? No. We are not able to convert the raw food, that matured food, into raw food. So cooking of food is also a chemical change. Burning or combustion. Burning is also known as combustion. So burning is a process in which element is heated. If paper has burnt, can it be converted back into paper again? Burnt paper, it will turn into black type ashes. Can it be converted back to paper again? No. Therefore, burning and combustion is it will chemical change. So burning or combustion is a process in which a substance combines with oxygen to produce heat energy and light energy. Heat energy and light energy is produced. Next one is digestion. This is also a process by which food is broken down into simpler substances. If food has once digested, can it be converted back into normal food? No. Therefore, digestion is also a chemical change. So, we have discussed about a number of physical and chemical changes. You have to learn about 5 types of chemical changes in detail. By this, we have completed chapter 2. Students, go through the summary, revise the things, learn about different type of changes, their differences with 2 examples of each. And physical and chemical changes are the important part of the chapter. So just grasp the things, more things on physical and chemical changes. We will be back with next video of chapter 3. Thank you and have a nice day.